To do the printmaking, you'll need the following: your tray, your roller, your ink. Make sure you give it a good stir. If it needs some water, if it does need water, it'll only need the tiniest amount. A couple of drops, if that. In fact, that there is too much, so I'm going to pour some back out. Now I'm going to mix it around with a brush. It needs to be a good consistency, but it needs to be kind of sticky. You don't want it runny. If it's runny, your prints won't turn out well. So now that we've looked at the ink for a while, got a good consistency, nice and sticky, we're going to look at what other materials we need. We need the cards, we need the letter templates, and we need the letters to print. Plus this one as well. So there's 1, 2, 3 surfaces to print on. It's whichever one you want to do. We'll start off by doing possibly the hardest one, the small letter faces. It's going to get messy, so I suggest that you put some paper down to stop yourself getting too mucky in the process. So I'm just going to put a little strip of paper down here and place that on top. Now, I'll move this out of the way because I don't need it. What we need to do now is carefully take our tray and our roller and get some ink onto the roller. Now what's important is not the ink on here, but the ink on the roller. It's about covering this. You want this completely covered in whatever colour you've got. So, some more ink down on there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll the ink onto the roller. Now you'll notice that I'm not making a large square. In fact, I'm trying to keep this square as small as possible. That's so I don't waste any ink. Now you can see the roller is completely covered in ink. There's no black patches whatsoever. And also, if you listen carefully, you might be able to hear a sticky noise. That tells us that the ink is the right consistency. It's not too thin. Now if you've added too much water, you won't hear that noise. The roller will just slip on the slippery surface. So, with the rollers, if you place them this way round, you won't mark any of the surfaces. We don't need this ink at the moment, so I'm going to take that out of the way. What we do need though are our letters. On one side, we've removed some of the lino. And the raised part is what we're going to print. Now it's backwards, because when we print it, it needs to be backwards. This is the side that you'll press down. This is the side that you'll ink. So, let's get to inking. As you can see, the surface is now completely covered in ink. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to look a little bit rustic, a little bit rough. So I'm just going to place this on top here now. Give it a press down. So we're going to press down with our fingers quite hard. You can see my thumbs are going white with the pressure. You're going to push it down, and then you're going to peel it off the back like so. And there we have the first letter. Now there's no need to clean this or anything, it's just got a little bit of ink in it. But what we will have to do is we'll have to replenish the ink. So get some more ink on your roller. Put that to the side. Now what you could do if you wanted is you could do the card with it. But let's just move on to the next letter. So the letter R. Now this is a different one, this one's been cut out completely. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're going to ink the wrong way, the wrong side, so it's going to look backwards. It won't be when it prints. Now the ink is starting to dry, you can see that here. it's not as good the coverage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get some fresh ink, slightly wetter ink, and I'm going to add it, take a couple of scoops, add on. It's important to move quickly when you're doing this. You don't want to wait too long because the ink's drying all the time. So another wee roll this way, another wee roll that way, another wee roll this way, and then just give it a roll on the top. Ink on there. Yeah, that looks fine to me. So I'm going to take our next little slip of paper and we're going to place it down on top. Remember, lots of pressure, lots of pushing with your fingers. The more you push, the more solid the colour will be. Try and push every little part of it as well. So let's peel that off, and there's the R. Now you're going to repeat this process until you've done all the letters. There we go. Push down. Peel off. There we go. It's important to turn your roller so it doesn't touch the surface because you just get ink everywhere that way. Turn it round and it sits quite nicely like that. Can't emphasise that enough. Running low on a little bit of ink, so I'm going to take some more. I'm going to listen for that sticky noise. You can actually see how sticky it is as well. Let's do the next letter. Do the letter E. Remember, it's backwards. Roll, roll, roll. I like to do mine's until sometimes in both directions, but because the ink's so sticky and the letter's so small, it can be quite hard to stop it from jumping about and sticking to the roller. Now if that happens, you're going to get a wee bit messy. So that's why I've got a cloth at hand here just to wipe the excess off and give it a little dry. There we go. That's clean now. Just trying to keep your fingers clean as well if you can. That's why it's useful just to have a little cloth, damp cloth to wipe them and another cloth to dry them. Let's pop this one on here. So I'm going to give it a press down. Push, 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 push. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So you can see it's quite a quick process, it doesn't take too long. Oh, there we go, we accident. A little bit more ink, I think. Now, I can't hear that sticky noise anymore, but I can see quite good coverage on the letter. Yeah, that looks okay. Next one now. Push down. Push, 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 push. That was quite a good one. Let's get a good one. So just two left to go now. Now you can see I've not used a lot of ink, but I've always made sure that when it's run low, I've added a little bit extra to it, so I hear that sticky noise when I'm rolling out. That's a sticky back, that's good. So Getting a wee bit of a guddle here, so I'm just going to clear the surface up a wee bit. Move these out to dry. These out the way. Now for the D, so make sure, D can be a tricky one. I've got lots of good ink on the top, but not so much on the bottom there. There we go. There we go. Push down. Here's the D. Give my fingers a quick wipe, it's starting to get up really messy again. So now a quick dry off. Now the last letter, we're going to go for the S. Oh, I think we just need a tiny little bit more ink on there. It's not huge amounts, you can see. Finally the S. Looking good. Final piece of paper over the top. Good press. There's the S. So that's all the letters there. Like I say, I'm not going to wash these. It's okay if the ink dries on them. There's not that much ink on them. In fact, when we come to print them again, it's quite good they've got a little bit of ink on them. That'll help you. That'll make a better coverage for next time, I would say. So, just going to pop these to the side, let them dry on that little bit of paper. And let's have a look at our there we go. Now, it's probably better to have them quite close together because we're going to transfer them onto our card, and you'll see that they're going to be very, very close together on the card as they're almost the same width. But that's quite a good effect. I'll make it nice and bold. But we'll just jump to that next.